More, today we're gonna talking about
The pricing of IVF, Italy versus the US, why we are doing this procedure for egg banking instead of embryo banking, and we're going to talk about pretty much everything we're doing differently for our second IVF egg retrieval compared to what we did the first time. I think everybody can assume that IVF is going to be so much more expensive in the United States than it is in Italy, but what might surprise you is how much more expensive it actually is. I'm going to tell them how much one egg retrieval and transfer cycle cost us in Italy.
$5,000 the first time. So you're gonna spend 5,000 euros, sorry. But right now the change at 2025 is pretty much the same. So it is 5,000 and 5,000. So don't think about, oh, it's less or more. $5,000 when you're doing your first egg retrieval plus the transfer.
It's included.
Is included. So it's pretty good price. You need to calculate the medicine. In Italy, it is about 2,000 if $50. If you, let's take this going wrong, everything wrong, the second time you're doing the IVF in Italy costs $4,000. So it's a discount, the 1,000 respect the first time. The medicine still the same, but then we don't know because we no search about it if you need to take more medicine, if the medicine gonna cost more than that. But what we know from our experience, that was the cost. Another thing it is doing difference between clinic and clinics. So maybe our clinic costs like this, but maybe you go Milan, cost a little bit more, $7,000 or $8,000. When we research Venice, okay, you see from the other videos that is the price.
The other thing to mention about Italy is that there is the option to do public IVF, which means you call in, you get on a wait list, depends on how long it could be. Some places you might get in quick, some places you might be waiting over a year. But if you do public IVF, it's free.
It's free.
The prices that we're talking about are private IVF because the clinic we went to is a private clinic.
So what is United States cost?
Well,
put it down my calculation.
So just to clarify with you guys, we've already spoken to about 4 different clinics in the United States, mostly in our area, and then 1 out of state. Price varies clinic to clinic, state to state. There's a huge wide range. And yes, there are some very cost-effective clinics out there that people mention in the comments a lot that offer, different packages at a discounted rate. But I would say, out of everything that we've gathered, all the pricing options that have been given to us, I would say the average that we see for an egg retrieval is about $14,000 to $15,000, not including medicine, not including the embryo transfer, and not including PGT testing. So you're starting with $15,000. Medicine averages between $3,000 to $7,000 depending on if you're a low amount of medicine or a high amount of medicine. Then you pay about $5,000 for an embryo transfer, and you pay PGT testing. And it's tricky because some places offer a package like, there's a flat rate for testing up to 8 embryos. Some people charge by embryo, so that's a little difficult to estimate. I would say that is what we've seen on average. Yes, you have clinics that are a lot more expensive than that. Yes, you have clinics that offer lower. I will say with the lower, it seems to me that you start off with a low rate, but then there's a lot of additional fees that somehow magically add on, and then it's expensive again. What we've seen though is that average. We've even talked to other people that we know who've done IVF who were kind enough to share their financials with us. I know it's pretty much standard, paid $20,000 for the retrieval and the transfer. She didn't do PGT testing. So it was about $20,000. And then her second child was just a transfer, so that was $5,000. Yes, it is a lot more expensive when you're looking at a $15,000 just egg retrieval price versus a $5,000 egg retrieval and transfer price. It's quite shocking to go from Italy to the US.
Like we tell in the other videos, we decided to go to United States this time because we don't have time to go back and forth from Italy. Okay, Italy was wrong or other thing. Actually, Italy was really good option. The question is, we don't have time to go up and down or stay there. We don't have that advantage.
It was more logistics than anything else.
We need it quick because we need to do this quick because, like we talk in other videos, the image, the Jessi, it was dropping For now it's stable, but in a month ago we don't know if it was keep dropping, or we don't know what's gonna happen with the medication. The endometriosis is gonna come back and make drop again. We don't know what is gonna happen. Here is much easier because we're living here.
Another thing to mention about pricing in the US especially is that sometimes when you're doing multiple things, like multiple egg retrievals, there are options to sort of lump everything together as packages. We've seen a lot of people do that. They can get a little of the cost down by doing packages, or even if you qualify for certain deals where you might get money back if you go through the process and you aren't successful, you don't have a baby. So there's a huge wide range of pricing. Overall, it is quite a jump up. From Italy.
In Italy, actually, even Italy will try to do multiple egg retrievals like that. And then even at the cost from Italy, for us, it was the second time, was supposed to be go to $4,000, like I said. But because we was trying to do multiple, the cost was just $5,000. So actually they told us you're doing one full plus one more. It was $5,000. Here in the United States, we have 3. So we have 1, 2, and 3. So 1 extra to Italy.
I still recommend for people who are getting into IVF, if you have certain diagnoses that aren't super bad or super aggressive, still look at going abroad for IVF. I still recommend it. We had a great experience clinic-wise, procedures, everything was great, pricing was great. But if you have a more difficult situation, it could be more challenging. Like for us, that's what changed. If we were still with my really good AMH and we had all the time to leisurely go back and forth, we'd probably still be over there.
A lot of people in the comments, they want to try to do GoFundMe and try to support us for do the IVF. And with really with heart, we're gonna tell you thank you so much. But we in the past we told you guys we working hard. We have we did open Amazon store, we was doing florist, so we were saving money from all these years for try to do this kind of thing, because we play, it was from other years. So if you wanna go find me something else, it is a lot of people can need help. California for the fires, and then in North Carolina with the state, they have more difficult than us. So we are just blessed. We can sustain this cost, you know.
We're very grateful for the many offers that you've given us, but we could just never accept something.
We cannot accept it, so thank you so much.
Why are we freezing eggs, egg banking, rather than banking embryos? Yes, there is a higher chance that a frozen embryo has a successful thaw rather than a frozen egg because the embryo is more stable. Frozen eggs, you can lose some when they thaw. That is very common knowledge. So a lot of people are concerned why we're freezing the eggs, because the chances of them surviving the thaw are lower. Now, we also had this question because like you, we knew the percentages, we knew the chances were different, embryo versus egg. So when we asked our doctor, she explained to us 2 things. First of all, doing the egg banking saves us money because the lab, the clinic, they charge the same fee for fertilizing eggs, whether you're fertilizing 2 eggs, 9 eggs, 30 eggs. So if every time we did an egg retrieval, let's say, because our average should be about 3 eggs, if we get these 3 eggs and we immediately make embryos, we're charged that full fee for the fertilization, the ICSI, all these things. Then the second round, we're doing another, and then we're having the same fee for the second round, and then the third round. So rather than do that, she was trying to save us money by taking this lump amount of eggs and doing all the lab work in one thing. So paying for 1 rather than paying for 3. Second, she was very confident that they have high success rates freezing eggs and thawing them at their clinic. Clinics and labs across the country have different percentage rates, and they have a very high success rate for unfreezing their eggs. She said we could maybe lose 1, is what she's estimating. So she still thinks it's much more beneficial to freeze the eggs and then do all the embryos after our 3rd retrieval.
So like you see, it's a cost affecting plus a little bit of technique affecting. This was happening in Italy too. Even in Italy, we was doing the egg banking. Okay, in Italy it's a different rule. A lot of people say, okay, but it's much better to go Italy. If you think about costing, maybe they frozen your eggs. Well, actually, okay, Italy now it is a law. Okay, you cannot make when you do some embryos, you need to use embryos. So you cannot do embryos, make more embryos, and make more embryos, and then use the embryos. No, because Italy law say you make the embryos, you use the embryos. When it's finished the embryos, you repeat your cycle. So that's what's happening there too. We was need to do a egg banking
back
to back. So even there was that back and back too stressful for that reason. So it is rules and rules, for each country. A lot of people in comment section will say, well, IVF is gonna be free right now in the United States. So actually it's no law in place right now, so we're gonna pay all our IVF. Then who knows?
And we can't wait.
And we cannot wait. But who knows? By the end of the year, something happen. They're gonna give us something to 2025 right now. But who knows? Maybe they make the law 2026 or 2027, or never gonna make the law. This I don't know. We need to just, we hope, okay, maybe they're doing a tax-free something for the people they did in 2025. We're hoping this, but
we can't wait and
we can
find
wait
out, basically.
and yeah, exactly.
Hopefully it's beneficial for people in the future, but for us, the timing is just not there. We've done one egg retrieval in the past, so let's talk about everything we're doing differently going into our second egg retrieval. And there's a lot of different things. So first of all, our medication will be different this time. Our doctors put me on a high dose medication, and they're going to be monitoring me because I know a lot of people also have voiced concerns about my endometriosis and what could happen with high doses of medication. Trust me, I'm also a little bit concerned, but we've talked to our doctor about that, and she's assured us that she's well aware of the concerns and the risks. So we're doing a high dose to try and get as many eggs as possible, but we follow up with ultrasounds like every other day. She's watching every day, not only the eggs growing, but to see my endometriosis, to see if anything else is growing in there. And if it does, we're switching medication course. So it's not like we're just going in there blind and saying, okay, well, I guess we'll see what happens after 2 weeks of stimulation. No, I'm going to be monitored very closely. She even said if we have to, she can put me on the breast cancer protocol for women who've had breast cancer or have a risk. They have a different medication protocol so that the hormones don't interact and raise the risk of the cancer. So that's also an option. But again, daily, we're going to be monitoring that. Starting off, it's going to be a higher dose medication than what we had in the past, and it's going to be a different type of medication than what we had in the past.
Yes, we start next week. In 7 days should come the medicine, and we should have more details. So we're gonna update you really in time, like what we're gonna do is so document everything for everybody can go through this.
When we got our medicine in Italy, that was already a huge crazy thing because they stole the package. It was missing. We needed it like that day. It was very stressful.
Yeah, a lot of questions. We answer a lot of questions in the video. You can find it in our playlist IVF in Italy. We're gonna put even these ones in America in that playlist, so you stay all organized. But you can see in Italy, they stole us first time the medicine. We got it anyway, the medicine. The pharmacy give a big discount for the medicine. It was adventure there too in the beginning. Now we go there and bam, we can do anything. It's easy.
As far as the protocol for egg retrieval, it's basically the same. You do about 12-ish days of stimulation medication, and then you do your egg retrieval. Again, it can be a little bit shorter or a little bit longer depending on how your body reacts. In the future, everything hopeful, we have a transfer. We'll be doing a different type of medicine for that as well, because here the infamous progesterone and oil shots will be happening. Everybody knows about them if you know anything about IVF. In Europe, they don't do that. No. There's two different schools of thought on progesterone and oil. Here in the US, it's like what you do. It's very painful supposedly, and I'm not looking forward to it. Obviously, we'll do what we have to do. But in Europe, they don't think it's necessary. They find better success with just subcutaneous progesterone or suppositories. So That'll be different as well. So there's a little bit difference in medication. Let's talk diet. Are we doing anything different with our diet this time?
Yes. So about diet, we did so many diets for control endometriosis and other thing in the past. 'Cause we did the videos.
This is
And
what I love because half the comments are like, "Oh, you've got to do this. You can't
the
eat
diet.
like don't eat meat. Oh, you have to only eat meat. Eat beans. Don't eat beans. Eat sugar. Don't eat sugar." Like it's
The answer it is from all our doctors, especially in Italy. We asked to Italy about the diet. The diet, they said, is not universally working in this situation. Why not working? Because when they study people, they're taking 50 people that they don't eat meat with that problems. And they need to study them for 50 years or 60 years, But then it's hard to follow these people and say, are you eat meat? Maybe they say no, and then they eat meat. There are so many, if you see Netflix, there's some shows that they show these people that they try to make diet, that they ship the food and other things, and the people don't follow the diet. And then so it is like...
It's the same for any disease.
Any
I mean,
disease.
obviously common sense tells us eat balanced, eat a lot of really good vegetables and clean protein, organic, because you want to try and take out pesticides. Like common sense health makes
Yeah.
sense. But even the endometriosis specialists we've talked to in the past, multiple different specialists in different regions, different areas, they all say the same thing. Diet might help some people and it might not help other people. It's the same thing, people might eat a terrible diet, but they never get any diseases.
Exactly.
Or people who eat very, very clean can get
Yeah.
cancer. I mean, it's not like a one size fits all. So that's why I'm always hesitant to share about what we eat, because we've done many different things.
And then nothing, it is actually help. But the last diet in Italy, they told us it was like dairy, yes, but not sugar, because I see a lot of people say, oh, dairy is inflammatory. We did dairy free. We did dairy free in the past and on work. Now we're going to, because they said dairy inflammation, all the thing. Jessi have severe endometriosis. Almost is this one case in
It's very annoying.
in all planet. Pretty much Italy was shocked for all this, what is gonna happen.
Like even treatments that might help other people
Yeah.
didn't work on me. So it's like, it's hard to say, oh, do this
Do
because
this.
it's gonna fix you.
Yeah, they said, try don't do sugar. I see really good results. But in the same time...
And reduce red meat was the other thing.
Yeah. What we try to say, who gonna see this video, for the people that suffer this disease, don't like put your mind like, oh my God, I need to go and diet for try to fix this problem. Don't do that. Like, try to do the diet, much as you can. Talk with your doctor, what is good for you, and hopefully work for you. The question is this, guys. Endometriosis is not feed from the sugar. Endometriosis is feed from estrogen, okay? So, and then guess what? It's your thyroid, is your normal hormones. So he's feeding from your hormones, okay? So when you remove endometriosis, suppress the hormones. So you need to take a pill and then not have hormones. It's the only way for the endometriosis going. In the moment that we start doing the IVF, we introduce the hormones, the endometriosis say, we eat!
We've been starving!
And you can eat sugar. What about the sugar? Who cares about the sugar? I want estrogen.
Actually, somebody messaged me a few days ago saying, oh, don't eat too many green vegetables because they have phytoestrogens. It's feeding your endometriosis. So it's like, you can't even eat vegetables. You can't even eat green vegetables anymore. Another difference that I'm a little bit scared about is that I have never been on progesterone for so long before stopping it. In the past, I was not on like a suppressant for endometriosis. And then we got on it for a couple months before I had surgery. And then we went straight into a transfer. Before our first egg retrieval, I wasn't on any sort of suppressants. So I don't know what's going to happen when I stop the progesterone in order to start the stimulation meds. It's a mystery.
We're gonna see.
It's concerning.
We're gonna see what is gonna happen.
So we have no idea if my endometriosis is just waiting to attack, or if it's gone to sleep, or we don't know.
I don't know.
So
It's
that's
gonna be a
gonna be
surprise.
yeah, look for that update
Yeah.
because that'll definitely be in the video.
This IVF is gonna be 3 rounds and it's gonna be hard. Why is it gonna be hard? Because maybe we can get, let's say we're gonna get 3 follicles and then total is gonna be 9. Then you need to fertilize. Let's say we lost 1, okay? So it's gonna be 8 and then you're gonna fertilize and then you need how many they're gonna survive, and maybe from this 8 statistically it is 1 survive. So it is like we have a 1 chance. It is like we have in the field. We throw our ball to the 8th Mary, you know, and then if we make the last thing from a touchdown, and we're gonna see if we're gonna make it. But we're gonna be positive, and now we're gonna see what it's gonna be, and next week we're gonna start. So let's go for it.
We're so close.
We are so close. Let's start this thing.